Thank you, Madam General Evaluator. Jozef, I'm still smiling inside. I'm still laughing inside. This is the kind of visual imagery that I really like, and I'm going to take that with me. So you've given me a gift, and I think you've given all of us a gift. You could tell that the audience was laughing, and laughing, and laughing, and laughing, and at the very end, laughing. It had us rolling all the way through. So I asked myself, what were the elements of the content of the speech that made this work? Talk a little bit about structure, then most of the time I'll talk about delivery, which is the focus of the project. I heard an alternate history of the universe. I heard satire. I heard parody. I heard puns. I heard strange, exaggerated images, which I like to call cosmic silliness. And a lot of what you had were visual images. But then I'm thinking, here he is, waving a few hands. This really lends itself to just letting the body go and act out the visual image. You can have the horse limping. You can have the monkey straighten up. Really, I mean, in a way I thought, if the speech had been given over radio, what would be missing? And sadly, the answer is not so much. It really was a radio speech. If you're going to give it in front of an audience, you have this whole realm to explore of body movement and acting. And Lord, this one is really suitable for that. All the animals and the legs and the combinations. And so fabulous content, incredibly humorous. You had the audience laughing all the way through. Please enter this into a contest. Structure very briefly, and a fairly quick opening. Not so effective, yet a very powerful ending. It recapped the whole thing, you went through the whole list of animals, and you had a punchline at the end. I'm going to suggest you take some of the energy from the ending and add it to the beginning. In the middle, didn't have a problem following, very clear narrative structure, made sense. Talk about delivery. The basics, eye contact, fairly limited unfortunately. Use of the floor, non-existent. Use of notes, too much. Some gestures, a little bit, but very limited. So this is an area where this speech really needs to grow. Same with vocal variety. Yes, you had voices for the various animals. Yes, you slowed down, you speeded up. There wasn't most emotion conveyed. You could think about the emotions that these animals had at the time that they were missing their legs. You know, the poor fly didn't get any legs. Oh, the fly was so sad. Add the level of emotion, and that's what you use their voice for. One last thing, humor really benefits from pauses, and I'm not an expert, but the timing of the pauses and the duration of the pauses really matters. You might want to have somebody who's very good at giving humorous speeches. Listen to the whole thing and just listen for every time you have a punchline. And advise to you, okay, lengthen it a little bit, make it go fast, because that would really add to the effectiveness. Congratulations, very memorable speech. Contest speech!